Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chemical Guys Detail Garage. On today's video, I want to talk over some of the commonly missed areas when it comes down to detailing. So we're going to give you guys our tips and tricks on how to go ahead and clean those and make them look as best possible. So before I begin, I just want to go ahead and start off by apologizing if there's any background noise. We do have our master's course in effect currently inside the detail garage. That's why we're outdoors. So there may be a little bit of sound in the background. You may hear some learning, who knows, but just to let you guys know, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into this video, and we're gonna start off by cleaning our door jambs. Now, whenever you detail your car, you know, you clean it up from the outside and you spend so much time detailing the outside and it looks great at the end and you're happy. And it isn't until you open your door that you realize you got a layer of filth on your door jambs. So if you come check this out, you'll see that your car may be clean from the outside, but check all this stuff out. You got a lot of dirt, debris, grime that collects right here. And usually when you wash your vehicle, these are commonly the missed areas when you wash your vehicle, simply because they're more like considered the interior part of your car. So cleaning this area, it's super crucial in terms of getting a super deep clean, because you want to make sure that this stuff is clean, you know? The last thing I want to worry about is having my car clean from the outside. I open my door and I see this stuff right here. And if you're a detailer, there's no excuse for that to happen. So you want to make sure to clean this up, because this is not acceptable. So what I use for this is I use a quick detailer such as Speed Wipe. Now Speed Wipe is great because it's a quick detail spray. So it's going to wipe off light dust, debris, and grime. That's what it's made to do. And it gives it a nice gloss. So you don't really have to focus too much on these areas, just because they don't really get too much as far as like UV rays or any kind of damage. So all you want to do is spray it directly, and right away you see that Speed Wipe pretty much emulsify that grime. It lifts it from your surface so that when you grab a nice soft microfiber towel, you go ahead and buff that right off nice and evenly. It is a little bit kind of like, you do have a little bit of a groove right here, so you may have to come once or twice just to make sure that you get all that dirt and grime from out of there. And I don't really like to apply any pressure. I just kind of give it like a light little wipe just so that I don't, you know, scratch the surface. And I can go ahead and flip it around to another side just to make sure that I don't scratch the paint. So flip it around and then just make sure to get all these other areas. And it might be a little bit tricky to get in here just because you have a lot of like tight grooves and crevices. But trust me, it makes a huge difference when you clean these areas. Especially, like I said, if you're a detailer, these are things that you want to make sure that you're doing in your detail, just because, you know, it's detailing, right? It's the details that matter. So we want to clean this up really quickly. You know, it doesn't really harm us as far as like how much time we're spending on here, because it's quick, it's efficient, and we're done. And just like that, we clean up this entire surface. If you look closely, there are some like little scuffs right here. You have like this little black scuff mark. That can be easily taken care of with like a butter wet wax or like a carnauba wax. So we can go ahead and get that done. But I mean, just to show you guys, just for the main portion, it's very quick, it's very easy. And you know, your door jambs are everywhere, whether it be this door. You can also focus on the outer part of the door right here itself. So along with that door jamb, you also have this door jamb as well. So with this area, you want to make sure to clean it up, just because, like I said, it makes your car look much better, and it shows that you pay attention to the details. So just like that, just spray directly into the surface, grab your microfiber towel, and simply buff it right off. And check it out. It brings out a new layer of white. It's clean. Like I said, it doesn't take much time at all. So, you know, figured if you're gonna do this, may as well do it. It doesn't hurt you, it doesn't hurt the car, and it makes the car look much better. Just like that, you can go ahead and flip it to a dry side of your towel, buff off any excess and or grime that's still sitting on the surface, and reveal that nice high gloss shine. And boom, just like that, it's clean, little to no effort, very quick, very efficient, and you know, you're probably gonna end up wiping your car down with a quick detail spray. May as well get those hard to reach areas that you never get. So another area that a lot of people don't pay attention to is these little pieces right here. I'm not entirely sure what you would call them, but they're pretty much this little lip right here over like your quarter panel, your bumpers, especially towards the sides and the front of your vehicle. So a lot of dirt and grime collects up right here, just like it collects on the side of the lower parts of your vehicle and your undercarriage. It also collects on this little lip right here. So you want to make sure to clean that up, just because it looks nasty. You know, you spend all that time cleaning your car and then you got to worry about this little nasty little lip right here. So clean it up, and we can use the same product such as Speed Wipe. So we can go ahead and spray directly onto the surface, spray onto my towel, and then we're simply going to go ahead and wipe off. Now, one thing I do want to mention as you guys see me wiping this off is that some of this grime may or may not wipe off. Why? Because some of this stuff might be tar, it might be built up. So as you guys see right there, You got some tar right there. You got a lot of like little rock chips right here towards the bottom. To clean this up, you can either use a clay bar to clean it up, and you can use some butter wet wax. So just to demonstrate for you guys, I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab some so I can show you guys how to clean this up properly. All right, so I got myself some butter wet wax right here and a microfiber applicator. What I'm gonna do is, in very minimal amounts, I'm gonna apply just 3 drops right here. Just because this is a very kind of small little lip right here, I'm gonna work it into my applicator just finely, just so that I don't get any kind of blotchiness on the little surface here. I'm gonna grab the butter wet wax, and I'm simply gonna agitate it left and right. Now, butter wet wax is great because it contains natural carnauba oils. So what does that mean? It's gonna pull off a lot of like, little things on the surface, such as, paint transfer, grime, tree sap, paint overspray. And it works out amazing for removing these kind of contaminants without having to resort to any aggressive measures, such as like a compound, a polish, or even like a machine. So this works out great for cleaning the paint. As you guys can see right here, it removes a number of the scuff marks and all these little like small things that don't come off with the detail spray with like an all-purpose cleaner. Comes right off with some butter wet wax. I'm gonna apply just a little bit more, just so that I can get that little chunk right there. It might take a little bit more to agitate it, just because that's a little bit more stuck on there. But as long as you agitate it up and down, left and right, slowly but surely, it's gonna start breaking down that tar or any kind of contaminants that's on the paint. Okay. So we just finished working it. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my towel and just buff off the excess of the wax, because remember, this is a wax. So as you're cleaning the paint with your wax, you're also applying a coat of wax. So now this is super smooth, super slick, and it's protected, and it's clean. All right guys, so moving on, now we have our exhaust tips. Now, when you look at your exhaust tips, you may not think to wash it during, your car wash process, but it makes a huge difference when you clean it up. I mean, check it out. If I just go ahead and touch it with my fingers, check that out. If you were to touch your exhaust tips after saying you just fully washed your car and that comes on your finger, then you didn't do a great job. So you want to make sure to clean these areas, especially if you have some nice chrome tips or any kind of painted tips, just because it makes your car look so much more better. So how do you clean this? We're going to be using Diablo wheel gel. Now, I know Diablo wheel gel, most of you guys know as a wheel cleaner, but it also works out great for these kind of surfaces because it emulsifies that dirt, grime, and carbon deposits so that we can safely clean it up. I have it right here diluted to a 3:1 ratio, and I have it in my secondary dilution sprayer bottle so that I can pretty much spray directly onto the surface. And I also have my boar's hair brush that I can use to agitate it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of open this up, spray directly. You can spray around, not so much inside, just kind of keep it like on the surface and the exterior wise of the actual tip. Spray directly into your brush as well to get some cleaning power on there. And it also gives you a lot of slickness because remember, it's gel. And we're simply going to agitate it. And I know, this car doesn't have the fanciest tips in the world. They're not custom or anything like that. They're stock, but trust me, even a stock exhaust can look great. So we're simply going to go ahead and agitate this right here. Do our best to agitate this. As you guys see, check out that foam. It's dark, it's black. That's all that grime that's on there. A lot of times, we think that we clean our cars to our best of our abilities, but it's not true because, we start cleaning areas like this and then we start realizing that, some of these areas, it's the details that matter. Like I mentioned at the beginning, you want to make sure to clean these areas because they make the hugest difference. And, if you want to call yourself a true detailer, you know that things like this will not go unmissed. All right guys, and just like that, we just finished rinsing it off, drying it to the best of our ability. Yeah, as you guys can see, huge difference. You actually see it chrome or, you know, kind of metal looking now, as opposed to like that black look, which, you know, wasn't black, just very, very filthy. And just something like that can make the hugest difference on your vehicle. Like I said, these aren't the fastest exhaust tips in the world, but they look great nonetheless. All right, guys, now I know this next one's gonna be a little bit different in terms of like, you know, what we've been showing you guys as far as like the details, but one of the main details that some people may fail to, you know, realize is their headlights may be getting oxidized. Now on this car looks great. It looks like a newer car, but check this out. If you come in close and you check out the headlights, you'll see that they start having a light film of oxidation, and you guys can see that the original factory clear coat, it's a little bit kind of burning towards the top. So we wanna go ahead and refine that with our Headlight Restorer. Now, Headlight Restorer is great at refining and bringing out optical clarity from your headlights so that you get rid of any kind of films of oxidation, yellowing, so that you keep your headlights looking as great as possible so that the lights reflect as best as possible as well. So what you want to do with the Headlight Restorer is you want to go ahead and grab an orange Hexlogic applicator here. Now this is a hand pad. This is equivalent to the ones that we use for machine, but it's in a nice convenient kind of pad that we can kind of grab with our hand and polish by hand. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Headlight Restorer. And seeing to it, it's just mainly on the top. I'm gonna mainly apply 3 drops of product, kind of similar to that butter wet wax. And I'm gonna go ahead and dab it out towards the top. Now, the reason I'm using this applicator, not like a towel or a microfiber applicator, is because this actually has a texture to it. So this mimics the same texture that we use for our orange polishing pad, and this is a cutting. So this is gonna go ahead and cut the surface. So it's gonna refine it, and it's gonna bring out the best clarity. And you guys can see right now, as you work it, you want to work it just like a polisher. You want to work it until the product becomes clear. And right away, I can see still through the product that the headlight is cleaning up much, much more better. And it's getting rid of like that light little film of oxidation. And this is a great thing to go ahead and hit up your headlights with, because if you guys didn't know, Headlight Restorer actually has a sealant to it. So not only do you shine your headlights and you bring out that best clarity, you also protect them from the harsh UV rays from drying them out, getting burnt, and getting yellow. So just make sure to work it in fully, and you can also do the rest of the headlight if you want, and that's going to go ahead and clean up the rest of the headlight. I just kind of focus right there on top just a little bit more, just clean up that little layer of oxidation. And you guys will start hearing kind of like this kind of squeaky noise, and that's just pretty much showing that the product is breaking down and the abrasives within it have broken down. So now it's just refining. So it kind of breaks down very finely, and then it starts refining the surface. So that's why you don't really see the product as much anymore. And it looks pretty much like fully clear, as you guys can see right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my microfiber towel, wipe it off, and show you guys those results. Check that out, you guys. It's like a brand new headlight again. As you guys saw, it had that like that little light film of oxidation right there. I cleaned it up effortlessly. Like I literally spent less than 30 seconds doing that, and as you guys can see, Headlight Restorer does wonders. Another area that's commonly missed is emblems and vents. So what I mean by that is stuff like this right here. As you guys can see on this vehicle, you have a plastic textured kind of groove right here. So you want to make sure to clean these cracks, and you want to make sure to clean the emblems of your vehicle, because oftentimes you get a lot of dirt and grime that collects in there, and over time it starts kind of collecting and you get like a very hard layer, and it makes it very difficult to clean and maintain. So one great way to maintain them is by cleaning them with nonsense during your wash process. So as I'm washing my car, I like going through all the vents and all the emblems with nonsense and a boar's hair brush, and that's simply just to clean out any kind of dirt or grime that collects in there. Or as you can imagine, tight little areas like this, I mean, who would pay attention to this, right? Well, if you're a true detailer and you want to make sure that you get all the details on your vehicle, you want to make sure to clean these areas. Your emblems as well, you can spray the emblems and just make sure to get all in there just so that you get a full deep clean. I mean, remember, these emblems, they have a lot of little intricate, you know, textures, areas and grooves that are kind of hard to get into. So you want to make sure to clean these areas up. So that's very easy to do during the wash process. So as I'm washing my car, as I have it foamed up, I usually kind of just go around the vehicle, get all these areas. I can get like the hood as well, as far as like what's on the emblem, such as like the Scion logo right here. I can spray directly. See all that grime? You even got like some bird poop in there. It looks pretty nasty. Towards the bottom right there, you have a lot of like buildup. So to clean this area, it's very easy. Simply grab your bottle of nonsense, spray directly onto the surface, grab your boar's hair brush, and as you guys can see, it has a lot of foaming action. So you're not scratching the paint because of all that foam. It's emulsifying that dirt and grime, and you're achieving that perfect level and that deep clean. Once you're done, you can go ahead and do all the areas, such as like these vents down here. You have this grill that has a lot of textured areas, so you can spray directly into the grill as well if it's plastic, and simply agitate these areas. And this is one of the hugest things that I feel like people miss out on, simply because I feel like a lot of people think that this stuff gets cleaned during the wash process, but they don't often realize that this stuff is pretty much what gets the most grime, because you know, you're driving forward, so all the dirt, grime, it's pretty much filtering through this grill right here. And even though a lot of dirt and grime doesn't necessarily collect through it, it does collect on it, because as you guys can see, you start getting like this kind of brown foam texture and brown foam, and that's pretty much just showing all that dirt and grime that's on there. So just giving this area a deep clean every now and then makes a huge difference as far as like, you know, the vehicle itself. And it also preps your surface so that if I want to apply a dressing such as like black on black, when I apply it, it's going to adhere better and shine much longer because the surface is clean and prepped. Just like that, once you're done, you go to rinse it off, dry your vehicle, and you're all good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed with cleaning the rest of the vehicle as far as like the emblems and stuff, and then we'll be back with you guys once we're done. And the last tip that we have for you guys is your lower windshield. Now I know for the most part we wash our car, and when we wash our car, we wipe down our windshield, but a lot of that dirt and grime ends up collecting at the bottom of your glass. And it kind of makes like a film down here. I don't know if you guys realize, but a lot of older cars, they have a lot of water spots towards the bottom of their glass, simply because I feel like not too many people care too much about cleaning that lower part. As long as this looks good, that doesn't matter. But if you want your glass to truly be fully spotless, you want to go ahead and clean that up. So clean it with some glass cleaner and a nice waffle weave towel. And all you want to do is just clean that area up. Like I mentioned, it doesn't hurt you. Cleans all that dirt and grime. And over time, you don't get like that nasty buildup down there. You know, me personally, I've worked on cars that have a lot of buildup down there, and you know, I've even had to resort to clay bar in that area simply because of all that dirt and grime that collects down there. So make sure to clean that up. And as a bonus tip, also make sure to clean up your windshield wiper. So your windshield wiper itself, you may not think about it, but this also collects a lot of dirt and grime. So you get a lot of dust and grime. So I'll show you guys right now. I'll try to grab like a clean side of my towel here. Okay. No magic right there, you see that? I'm gonna spray just a little bit of glass cleaner on there. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna wipe down my windshield wipers. Now, when you're wiping down your windshield wipers, you wanna make sure to clean these areas up, simply because of the fact that it's gliding over your glass, right? So anything that's on there, dirt, grime, residue, it's gonna drag all over your glass, and whatever's on there is gonna be considered a factor and an abrasive to scratching your glass. So check it out. I just cleaned that area up. Check all that dirt and grime that was hiding there. So you may not think about it, but your windshield wiper is the leading cause for scratches on windows. So that just shows you, especially on older cars, when you have all those kind of scratches and, from left and right, that's pretty much the result of that, because of all that dirt and grime that pretty much drags over the glass over a long periods amount of time. So clean up your glass, clean up your windshield wipers, and you shouldn't have a problem. All right, guys, and there you guys have it. Just a very quick and easy and simple video for you guys. Like I mentioned, I wanted to keep it simple, just the top missed things when it comes to detailing. I hope you guys learned something new today. If you guys did happen to learn something new today, please comment down below what you've learned, and also comment down below if you have any tips that I may not have covered in this video. Make sure to leave them in the comment section down below so that we can maybe do a future video using those tips and or to help anyone out in the comment section. As always, my name is Joey. This is Chemical Guys Detail Garage. We'll see you guys next time.